Dear friends, time flies, and in the blink of an eye, the little life in Toan and Diem's belly has already reached its 8th month. The wooden house on Sim Hill is no longer just filled with the lively clucking of chickens and the cheerful chirping of birds. It's also overflowing with laughter and the soft whispers of a young father to his wife's ever-growing baby bump. The anticipation of welcoming a little angel into the world always brings the most indescribable mix of emotions. For someone who used to call the shots in the business world, like Toan, preparing to welcome their baby has become a massive project of cosmic proportions. Today, the former CEO decided to put all his farm work on hold to take his madam on an incredibly sacred mission, packing the hospital bag. The sight of a man with large hands, so used to signing billion-dollar contracts, now clumsily and tenderly holding tiny little mittens and booties, carefully feeling every thread of baby clothes, will make us both laugh and tear up with emotion. And it doesn't stop there. On the way home, the diaper duty CEO even personally stops by the country market to show off his cooking skills and nourish his wife and baby. Lean back comfortably, brew a warm cup of tea, and immerse yourself in today's incredibly sweet, romantic and love-filled episode, former CEO's tears, buying baby clothes, and the carp porridge overflowing with love. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a like to wish Diem a healthy rest of her pregnancy and a safe delivery. Let the story begin. Early on an autumn morning, the air on Sim Hill carried a slight chill, and a hazy mist drifted around the old bamboo grove. Inside the wooden house, Diem was leaning back against a rattan pillow on the bed, gently rubbing her huge baby bump. The 8-month-old baby was incredibly active, occasionally delivering a kick so strong it made a tiny visible bump on Diem's stomach. Toan walked in from the yard, holding an old leather-bound notebook in his hand, the exact notebook he used to jot down the corporation's business strategies. He pulled up a stool right next to the bed, looking extremely serious, and flipped through pages filled with detailed notes in blue ink. Wifey, I have thoroughly researched prenatal materials and consulted the doctor. Starting this week, we have to get the hospital bag completely ready. We absolutely cannot wait until the last minute. Toan declared loudly, his demeanor no different from when he was running a board of directors meeting. Diem giggled, reaching out to lightly pinch her husband's cheek. You're being so dramatic. The doctor's due date isn't until next month. Besides, buying baby clothes at the town market takes no time at all. You're acting like we're prepping for an international business trip. Toan firmly shook his head, holding his wife's hand. We can't be careless. Our child must use the best, safest things from the very second they are born. You can't just randomly buy clothes that will touch a baby's delicate skin. Today, the chairman orders. We are going to town to shop for the heir. Toan's extreme over-preparation and caution made Diem just smile sweetly. A man who was once so thorny and cold had now become so meticulous and detail-oriented for their little family. That transformation to Diem was the absolute greatest miracle of love. The clunky old motorbike once again carried mother and child down to town. This time, the destination was the biggest mother and baby superstore in the area. As soon as they stepped through the glass doors, the couple was hit by a world overflowing with bright colors and melt-your-heart cuteness. The shelves were stacked with diapers, baby bottles, teddy bears, and tiny newborn outfits hanging from racks. Toan walked in front, pushing the shopping cart, his eyes scanning the aisles with intense focus. Diem followed behind, rubbing her belly, her eyes shining with ultimate happiness. Reaching the newborn clothing section, Toan stopped. He picked up a pale yellow bodysuit. His large hands, rough from gripping a hoe and raking gravel, were incredibly clumsy as they touched a piece of fabric barely bigger than an adult's hand. "Oh my God! Diem, why is it so tiny? The wrists and ankles are so small. How do you even put this on?" Toan's eyes widened in surprise, awkwardly flipping the tiny onesie back and forth, absolute confusion written all over his chiseled face. Diem covered her mouth, laughing uncontrollably. "Newborns are just that small, honey. Did you think it would come out the size of one of our roosters?" With that, Diem reached to grab a few regular cotton outfits to throw in the basket, but Toan immediately stopped her. The picky stylist began flexing his quality control skills again. "Hold on. This fabric is a bit stiff, and these serged seams on the inside stick out so much they'll leave red marks on the baby's skin. Look at this set. It's made from organic bamboo fiber, as soft as velvet, with no toxic dyes. Let's get 10 of these in white and cream for our baby." It wasn't just clothes. Toan carefully picked out every little newborn hat, barely the size of half an orange, every pair of super soft mittens and booties, and burp cloths woven from the most natural cotton. Every time he picked an item to put in the cart, Toan would bring it up to his nose to smell it, then brush it against his own cheek to test its softness. Watching her husband's broad back as he hunched over the diaper aisle, comparing every pack of taped diapers to see which one was more absorbent and better at preventing diaper rash, Diem's eyes suddenly stung with tears. The feeling of happiness and safe, the feeling of absolute happiness and security, completely overwhelmed her, squeezing her heart. This man, whether in a luxurious villa or a thatched roof house, always gave her and their child the most perfect, unconditional protection. Leaving the supermarket with 2 heavy, overflowing bags of newborn clothes, Toan carefully strapped them to the front of the motorbike. The sun had started to set in the west, casting faded afternoon rays onto the asphalt. "The baby stuff is all set, now it's time to nourish mommy," Toan called out over his shoulder, steering the bike into a small local market on the edge of town. The afternoon market was loud, bustling with the sounds of buyers and sellers. Toan parked the bike under a banyan tree, told Diem to sit tight on the bike and wait while he rolled up his sleeves and squeezed into the fresh food section. He knew that in the final months of pregnancy, Diem often got leg cramps and needed a lot of nutrients to help the baby grow strong. The older women in the countryside always passed down the belief that if a pregnant woman eats carp porridge, the baby will be born smart with fair skin and red lips, and the mother will have an easy delivery. Toan walked up to Auntie Tu's fish stall, a familiar spot. "Auntie Tu, scoop out the strongest swimming female carp with eggs for me. The doctor said my wife is popping next month, so today I have to make a nourishing pot of porridge for her," Toan said, with a cheerful laugh. "Oh, my Diem's director Toan is getting so good at grocery shopping these days. Give me a sec, I'll clean it and debone it for you, so you just have to cook it when you get home." Auntie Tu smiled brightly, swiftly catching a massive carp that was splashing white foam everywhere. Not only did he buy the carp, Toan also swung by the vegetable stand, picking out a bunch of super fresh scallions, fragrant dill, and a few old ginger roots to get rid of the fishy smell. He also didn't forget to stop by the butcher to buy some pork ribs for tomorrow's pumpkin soup for his wife. Seeing the former CEO loaded down with red and blue plastic bags of meat and fish squeezing through the crowd of housewives to haggle over a bunch of veggies, no one would ever guess this used to be a figure that made the entire financial world tremble. Family love had truly transformed a lone wolf into the warmest, most down-to-earth husband and father in the world. They returned to Sim Hill just as darkness began to fall. The chilly twilight air made the small red brick kitchen feel incredibly cozy. Toan absolutely insisted Diem sit on the bed, forbidding her from stepping foot in the kitchen. Inside the bedroom under the dim light, Diem pulled every little newborn shirt and tiny pair of socks out of the plastic bags. She stroked every fold of fabric, carefully folded them neatly, and placed them into a covered rattan basket. As she packed, Diem smiled, imagining the tiny angelic face of her baby, wearing these clothes, overflowing with Daddy Toan's love. Out in the kitchen, the sound of the knife and cutting board echoed rhythmically. Toan was hyper-focused on the legendary carp porridge. He carefully rubbed the fish with salt, washing it with white wine and crushed ginger to completely eliminate the fishy odor, a smell that easily triggers pregnancy nausea. Once the fish was perfectly boiled, Toan meticulously picked apart the pristine white meat, removing every single tiny pin bone, then sautéed it with fragrant shallots. He crushed the fish bones to strain out the sweet, savory broth, using it to simmer regular rice, mixed with a little sticky rice for a perfect, fragrant texture. About an hour later, the smell of perfectly simmered carp porridge and a blending with the mouth-watering aroma of scallions dill and a dash of white pepper spread throughout the space, drifting right into the bedroom and making Diem's mouth water. "Madame, it's time to dine." Toan walked in carrying a large wooden tray. On the tray was a steaming bowl of carp porridge, the golden brown fish meat sprinkled evenly on top, giving off plumes of hot steam. He pulled the small bed table over, carefully scooped up a spoonful of porridge, blew on it a few times to cool it down, and brought it right to his wife's mouth. "Taste it. I picked out all the tiny bones. I guarantee it's not fishy at all." Diem opened her mouth to eat the spoonful of porridge her husband fed her. The pure sweetness of the bone broth, the fragrant chewiness of the bloomed rice grains, and the slight kick of the pepper and ginger blended perfectly on the tip of her tongue. The porridge wasn't just delicious because of the fresh ingredients. It held all the tender, meticulous care of the man sitting right in front of her. "It's absolutely amazing, honey. With cooking like this, the restaurants in town should be calling you their master." Diem gave a thumbs up in praise, her eyes curving into a radiant smile. Toan let out a hearty laugh, completely satisfied as he wiped a spot of porridge from the corner of his wife's lips. He gently pressed his ear against Diem's moving baby bump, whispering, "Eat well, little one. Absorb all these nutrients so you can be super healthy, and then come out and play with Mom and Dad next month. Daddy has the hospital bag all ready. We're just waiting for you now." As if understanding its dad's words, the baby in the belly responded with a strong kick right against Toan's cheek. The couple jumped, then looked at each other and burst into joyous laughter. Their laughter echoed throughout the small wooden house, chasing away all the chill of the mountain night. Dear friends, a busy yet incredibly peaceful and sweet day for Toan and Diem's family has come to a close. Watching the way the former CEO was so confused by the tiny newborn clothes, or the way he slaved away in the kitchen, picking out every single fish bone for his wife to eat, we truly see the massive power of family love. When a man genuinely pours his heart into his home, he is willing to do the smallest, most trivial tasks with the absolute greatest love. The hospital bag is perfectly prepped, and highly nutritious meals are keeping the kitchen fire burning steadily every day. Sim Hill is holding its breath, waiting for the most sacred moment, the moment the little angel officially cries its first cry into the world? Will Diem's delivery day go smoothly? How will our diaper duty chairman panic and burst into tears in front of the delivery room doors? Leave your wishes for a safe delivery for mother and baby in the comments section. If you found this video brought you positive energy, please give the channel a like and hit subscribe so you don't miss the earth-shattering, water-breaking moment in the next episode. Wishing you all a truly warm and happy evening.